eyes headlight that had already been retrofitted, but actually broke as I was shipping it off to the customer. So the customer called me and said, "This is no good." I agreed. He sent it back to me. And ultimately, the problem is that on the backside, this particular point here has broken, and it's no longer holding the horizontal, the vertical line. And I can show that right here by, seeing how easily that whole thing moves. It shouldn't be moving at all. It should be very firm. So today I thought I'd make a little video showing how to open up an Eagle Eye Mustang, new edge headlight. So this one's been retrofitted, but if you had this one brand new and you wanted to retrofit a headlight, the process is pretty much the same. So if the headlight were brand new, you would actually have a locking ring right here that you would just twist off and bring it out. The bulb would come out. You'd still want to kind of take off this rubber grommet. There are two vent hoses, one and then one over here on the corner. So those two come out. Then there's a nail right up there and another nail right over here, and then obviously the two screws. So I'm going to go ahead and get those out and I'll be right back. So here I am. Taking off the screws. These just really come out really easy. And if you're wondering about the cardboard box on the bottom, so whenever you open the headlight, all the glue here that seals it is going to become soft, and it can become gooey and sticky, and it'll more than likely get on your clothes and get on your hands and gloves and and whatnot. So all right, I'm going to show taking off one of the nails. All right, so here we go. Let's try picking on one. Normally what I do is I start out with a little flathead, just kind of get under it and pick it up a little bit. You don't want to be too rough on these, and then you just kind of move from side to side and pull it out, and then you do the same for the next one. This part probably actually should have been done first, but so here we're going to actually set the oven. Bake. We're going to do bake, and we're going to set it to 230. And start. And we're going to let the oven actually heat up to the desired temperature. If you were taking the headlight apart for the first time, this is kind of what you would probably have been taking off: the two nails, the two vent hoses, and the two screws that were obviously on the side, and the grommet that actually seals the headlight in. So now the headlight is actually ready to be baked, for lack of a better term. And so once the oven heats up, we will put the headlight in the oven. While we're waiting for the oven to heat up, I thought it would be a good idea to share that I normally put everything in a Ziploc bag so that way we don't lose the screws and whatnot. Also, I went ahead and grabbed myself the pair of gloves and my large flathead screwdriver that we'll use to help open up the headlight once the glue has softened up. The oven is now ready, so we're going to take the headlight and it's kind of hard to do one-handed. I'm going to go ahead and stick it in the oven just like that. And then up on top, we're going to add a timer. Whoops. For 8 minutes. Now, just so you know, I mean, if you take it out at 8.5 minutes, or just a few seconds after, I don't think it doesn't really hurt the the headlight at all. As a matter of fact, you could probably even do 9 minutes if you needed to. But I normally do 8 minutes. That's usually soft enough for me. So now we're going to wait the 8 minutes and we'll be back. Just a little more to go. Alright, just a few more seconds. Got my gloves on. So, timer off. Alright. So now we open up and we pull out the heated headlight. Okay. So I probably should have showed this earlier, but there are 3 tabs that you need to focus on. So you got one right here at the very top, right there, and on the bottom, you've got that one right there and this one right there. You're going to work on this side right here, and then you're going to work your way to the edge over here. I'm going to work on that real quick.
This one first, and then this one. So
Yeah.
these that are on my hands, they come first, and then this one came after them, and this one, and this one, and this one, and this one, and the last one came. And this one comes last, right here, see?
Oh, I see.
These are for me. I'm putting it in the sink.
Okay.
One of them I got. And here's a star one. See? Here's a star one also. I dropped it. See?
Yeah.
I have
So,
this chair.
sure, if you want.
I
See how it's gapping right there?
These are for me to watch. These are for me to watch.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
How do you play it? How do you play it?
And so there we go. So here we have the inside of the lens.
And
This one's already been retrofitted, but here it is all in. And you can kind of see here already, like as suspected, that this one particular tab had already broken. So here we have the headlight is all opened up. I'm going to turn on the light here on the phone. I'm going to show the problem. So right here, what the problem was is, as suspected, that this particular prong had broken off. What we're going to do is, you can kind of see how this is a 2-pronged device. We're going to put that back in. Remove this. We're going to actually put that back in there. We're going to bring the other prong. We're going to put it back in on the other side. We're going to glue it all together. This is going to be now, instead of a piece that's going in between 2 prongs, it's actually all now going to be one glued piece. It's going to make it even stronger than what it was. And once it's all glued, we put it back together, it should all work properly again. And as you can see in there, that one is the anchor point, the point that actually doesn't move. That one's fine. And if we come here to the other side, you can see that that one is doing well as well. We might actually add some glue to this one just to make sure that it is just stronger, you know, all around. So there we go. I'll start working on that. Sure enough, in this case, here's the piece that broke off. So again, all we have to do is, if we look at this, we have that piece that can just slot back in, and we're just going to work on getting this piece back in there. We'll glue it all together and it will not be moving anymore from there. Now it's worth noting that, let's see if I can get this on, turn on the light. So the way that this works is right there, the ball, this particular guy has, you know, essentially a screw with a ball head, and it just moves back and forth, right? And so that ball actually is inside of that clip that you see right there. So right in there, kind of at the edge of my pinky fingernail. And so as long as we don't get any glue on that, that ball should freely move back and forth. And so you should still be able to adjust the headlight as needed in the future. I guess I missed it, but here you can kind of see that I have set up some JB Weld. I found the missing piece, and I have, if I can actually aim the camera right, I have actually set it up to where we have a lot of JB Weld in the broken piece. Now, as mentioned earlier, I think that the JB Weld will make everything a whole lot stronger. So we're going to come over here and we're going to slather some of the JB Weld on this other connector here too. And hopefully what will happen is that it'll keep this, it'll just make it stronger. I don't think this will break on its own, but I don't think it hurts either to put some glue here or some JB Weld in here. That will ensure that it doesn't come apart in the future. Again, this piece right here, it's all kind of snapped together. It doesn't need to move. That little piece right there at the bottom probably does. We'll actually clean up that a little bit. And there we go. So that right there, once it cures, I'm sure will be really, really strong. We can even stick a little bit more in there just for grins and giggles. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to let this cure. The bottle says this is the one I got, the JB Weld plastic bonder, strong as bond. Set in 15 minutes, sand in 30, tries tan. In this case, it doesn't matter. It's all behind trim, so you never see those points anyways unless you open up the headlight. So it's all going to be fine. And there we go. So we are going to let this sit for at least 30 minutes.